Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the last week's special podcast. I'm Austin, and we have Con
Good day.
and Jed,
How do you do?
as usual. And yeah, so I'm sure current viewers of our live stream have noticed we haven't been streaming much lately, and that's probably because Con's computer decided to, well, say screw you.
Yeah, my computer said screw everybody, and that was it. I couldn't argue with it.
And it was like this, very gradual decline, gradual death. Like the signs were coming, and it kept getting worse and worse. It was like some old person just getting sick, going to the hospital, and then dying. That's pretty much what happened.
You know that scene in Jurassic Park when he's trying to sign onto the computer and it's like, nah, you didn't say the magic word? That was Khan's whole situation. He just screamed at, nah, please! Nah,
Please.
Just again and again and again.
I mean, I made a blog post about it. Just for the
Right.
last 4 or 5 months, it's been nothing but hell. and just last month, yeah, my motherboard decided no, it died. And then after that, my video card decided no, it died. And the ports on my case are really screwing with me. So there's chances that my system resets because of it. It's old.
Ports, man. I hate having port issues.
Yeah. I mean, there's good ones where they're coated in a certain, I don't want to say gold, but something that makes them last really good. This one I don't think has any sort of coating. It's just a standard type,
Right.
generic that everyone has. You pay extra, pay the premium, and you get the good stuff. So in the last 3 weeks, I've been researching dozens of parts just to do my upgrade, because when I upgrade, I like to do it properly. So, because this one, there's the lifespan, length of time I've had all the parts in my computer is anywhere between 6 to 9 years right now. So
yeah, that thing's lasted you.
yeah, so I like to do it properly. And only last night I actually decided on all the parts, finally.
Ah. What,
And
what chipset, what CPU you going for?
I'm going for the 7700K.
Wow. Isn't that like the one of
Normally,
the newest?
yeah, it's the top of the line
Yeah, I thought
Intel
so.
one. I usually never do that. I go normally the third highest because they're good enough for what you need. But I was noticing that the general performance rise between each CPU is like 8, 9, sometimes 10%.
Yeah, this one was a big jump.
30% average-ish
Yeah.
for no reason. I've never seen that before.
That's
And I
pretty big.
figure it's only an extra $80. That could probably
that's future proofing for sure.
yeah, that'll give me an extra 2 years, no problem.
Yeah.
And that CPU specifically works very well with streaming. So
Yeah.
I thought, go the extra yard, do it properly kind of thing. So I'm doing that.
And you already got yourself the 1060 video card, right?
Yeah.
So-
I was hoping to go the 1070, but
Right.
money and everything. The 1060, it's still good considering
it's
my
a
five.
really good card, yeah.
Yeah, my 560 Ti played most games at high,
Yeah.
some on max, others medium, certain ones on low. It considering how old it is, it did really well. So the
Yeah,
1060, it should be perfect for me.
Yeah. It's good up.
It can run like Witcher and stuff like 100 frames or something.
Yeah,
so
I mean you're not going for 200 frames per second, so you're gonna be
No,
fine.
I'm not playing at 4K. I'm not playing at
Yeah.
maximum AA. It'll be perfect for a long time. So yeah, I'm all good. So picking all the parts is fine. Paying, that's another story. Paying is actually a really bad story. I've tried to not, have too much,
Yeah, at once.
but the more pieces you add, because you have to do a full upgrade.
Yep.
it's a bit brutal right now. I can only barely afford it, which means I'm gonna have zero money after this. Means I'm screwed till I find a job. So
Yeah.
I'm not in the best of situations right now, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
Buying cheaper parts is like throwing money away. I'm not doing that.
Yep. It
So
really is.
I'm not gonna have my computer like this week or next week. I'm hoping soon. It's just I'm juggling the money. I can't really rush into it without destroying myself. So yeah, hopefully soon I'll have a PC and we'll be back to streaming and recording some new games. Because right now I have potato PC.
Yeah. Integrated graphics. So that you're pretty much out of the for that.
Yeah, and that's running on the motherboard that I borrowed from a friend because mine's broken, and my friend's brother wants it back because he wants to upgrade his 5-year-old PC, which is I don't understand because the motherboard I have is 5 years old. Like, what the hell are you upgrading from your current shit, which is current with what I've got that I bought? It's like, whatever, I'll take it back. And I normally don't borrow PC parts because I'm never sure if they want them back straight away. But I figured all these people have upgraded to newer stuff this year and last year. They're not going to need this. So I went for it and, oh, boom, look what happens. So take it back and buy my stuff I don't like being dependent on other people's things. It's frustrating. And the one time I do it, what happens?
Every time, too. Every time.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that the motherboard Con had picked out, we had looked at it, and one really cool thing that maybe a lot of podcaster listeners out there don't know about is that it supports a new memory type called M.2. Think of it as an SSD drive that's the size of a flash card, but it's like 6 times faster than industry SSDs.
It's pretty cool.
It is a really cool technology.
Yeah, it's like a memory stick, but a bit shorter. And yeah, it runs fast. I mean, I think the speed of an SSD drive was something like 560, 600, whatever. This one's like 3,200.
The heck?
So I know, massive.
Jeez.
I wanted one bad, but because of money, I have to cut it out and look at it in a year
It's something
or
for the
so.
future, but
Yeah.
anyone that's doing upgrades and you are not aware of that type of technology, do look into it because I've seen articles where they'll have special motherboards that can bypass like the BIOS boot process. So like, you don't get that splash screen and everything just to kind of speed up. And most of the time, by the time they let go of the power button, Windows is already started.
That's freaking insane. And that's
Because it's just,
that's
it's
how it
just
should be.
bypasses.
Like in this day and age, that's how it should be.
Yeah, look them up. Very cool. M2.
I first heard about it when Intel was releasing their Nook little miniature computers, and I'm like, what the crap is an M2? And then some really high-end laptops will use it, but now you're starting to see it on motherboards, and there's just special little spots for them that you don't hook them up by SATA cables. They don't have independent power usage. They just plug right into the motherboard and use it right away. Super cool.
That is crazy.
So it'd be interesting if Con ever is able to get one in the future. I'm very, very curious on what kind of performance
definitely
games.
will.
Yeah. Well, I know you will, but I also know that if you got one, you'll put it off. So like, cause then I gotta put Windows on it, and it's like I know it's fast, and it's just drag and drop, but I just can't be bothered. So I'll have to wait for like forever to hear about it.
Yeah.
I've been playing World of Warships with Jed on low.
Yeah, believe it. It works.
It works very well and even looks fine, which I'm still trying to figure out how that works. That and a bit of Overwatch. Which
I actually heard Overwatch runs good on integrated graphics. I was like, what?
It runs. I get around 30 or so.
Yeah.
We'll put it in quotation. It
runs.
runs.
It runs. The picture though.
Muddy.
He'll complain all the time, like, Like, I don't see what I'm shooting at. Like, there won't
Yeah,
be objects
things
that won't load, or
Oh,
people
wow.
haven't loaded in yet.
like you'll be running along and you see the triangles of the people, above their heads, but not the people, and it's like I don't know what's happening. And like with Junkrat, I'll run along and I'll throw my mine so I can launch myself. The mine doesn't appear, so I have to try and figure out where it was, and then I'm
Oh,
going
God.
sideways. It'll pop up now
Uh.
and then, but yeah, it's really annoying.
Wow. What about
Oh,
you,
well.
Jed? What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing Batman Origins. I'm
Right.
probably about 25% in that game, according to the title. Plays a whole lot like Arkham City.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same engine and everything.
Yeah, like even the city itself is really similar. There's new stuff in there,
Yeah.
and there's familiar stuff in there
Right,
too.
right. The detective mode and all that stuff's new.
Yeah, I
And
actually
the-
really
yeah.
like that detective
I did
mode.
too.
That
I
was-
really liked that
Mm.
part of the game.
I was having more fun with that. Like, I know a lot of people play Arkham and they love the combat. Like, oh, the combat's so great. Like, it's great, but I was having a good time with that detective mode. I'm like, I'd like a Batman game with just this.
Yeah, there's
Just-
there's a VR game that's very similar to that actually.
Like, I like to be solving crimes and then occasionally punching someone in the face.
Yeah.
But like, give me that solving crime capabilities. And then also, and I believe I saw Austin with it as well. We both picked up Turok 2
Yeah.
on
I've been
Steam.
playing that all day today.
Oh,
Holy crap.
plays really well with mouse and keyboard, doesn't it?
It's surprising me just how ahead of its time that game was. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you take the graphics out of the equation, that game is better than most modern FPS shooters.
I'll believe it.
Like the AI, the enemy AI is insane, taking cover, dodging, flipping around. Their animations
Yeah.
are crazy good. The animations are just fantastic. They have like multiple death animations. Like if you kill them mid-run, they'll like do this like roll and roll around. And their blood spews everywhere,
Yeah.
and they'll get hurt, damage. If you shoot them in the shoulder, they'll grab their shoulder. It's like they'll grab the area where you shoot them. Man, it's just like insanely. There's bullet drop, like your bow and arrow has bullet drop. It's like there's
Mhm.
actual
You can
physics going
reuse.
on. The level
Exactly.
design, like this game is like a Metroid Prime before Metroid Prime. Like it's crazy. This game's just
Well, I mean-
blowing me away.
That makes sense. Because if I recall correctly, and it's been a long time since I read about, but when Retro Studios was first starting and they were getting their teams together, they actually hijacked some of the Turok level designers
Oh wow, did they? That
to be in their
that
studio.
makes
So that's
so
why
much sense because
that's why Metroid
it
Prime
has such the
resembles so
vibe.
much
Yeah.
Mm.
of that that Turok, and that's why it was so comparable, because they actually took hand-picked people in that team
I'd
and brought
believe
them
it.
over. But I agree with you. Levels are definitely bigger
Oh,
than
yeah,
what was
they're
in Turok 1,
huge.
That's
and
pretty
it's
cool.
easy to get lost.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy
um,
big.
I had to play the first level through twice because I couldn't find the third child. And then I found him on the second way through. And so now I'm on level 2. And I can only imagine I'm going to have to go back again because I know I'm going to miss a couple of
Yeah.
objectives there. Because it's one of those situations, I'll find a warp portal here, but I just found a hidden entrance over
Yeah.
here. Do I go to the warp or the entrance?
And the hidden
I'll go to the
entrances are
entrance.
like required. Like you blow a
Yeah.
hole in the wall, and it's like, oh, I actually had to go this way to progress the game. It's like this isn't just some little secret area. It's like the way to go.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, I agree. They did a lot of stuff back then. It was really cool, and it plays really well on PC.
It plays so good. Yeah.
I've noticed only one technical problem, and that's with audio. At various points, it's like the audio, it gets quiet, like unintentionally. You can tell it's not a fade
There are
out.
audio level issues for sure. I have like
Yeah.
I have like the game and music turned way down, and then I have the voices cranked all the way up because the voices are so quiet you can't hear what they're
There's a
saying.
few games that do that.
Yeah, maybe it'll get corrected later in a patch or something, but
It's cool that you can
Yeah.
also select the N64 soundtrack and then the
Mhm.
PC soundtrack. So
you
that's
get
cool.
the CD quality one or the N64 quality. I'm doing CD.
Well, yeah, same
Big.
here.
There's a difference
Oh, yeah,
too. If
definitely.
you didn't think there was, there is. And But
And
it
oh my
is
gosh,
fun.
headshots matter in this game. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could pump like 500 bullets into one guy's like arms and chest, but one shot to the head and he's dead. And the bow and arrow is so satisfying. Like I'm just running around with the bow and arrow, jumping, shooting guys.
I've been
in the
using them
head.
on spiders because I'm not. The spiders are harder to hit with a pistol
Yeah,
because
I
my
like
bullets keep going
I
between
like
their
avoid
legs.
the spiders. They're so annoying. So I just run past them. It's like nope.
I keep wanting to, but then I take a wrong turn. I'm in
And
a
then you have to
corner, and
go
then there's
back.
50 of them behind me. I'm
Yeah.
like, great. Well, I got a flare and I got this bow and arrow, so I guess it's gonna be arrow time.
That also reminds me, those one enemies that shoot their guns at you with their arm cannon. They'll if you like damage them enough, they'll run up to you and just suicide. They'll like tap in something on their wrist and beep 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 beep, and then they just explode. They like wave to you as they blow up. It's hilarious.
They do that. Some of them will camouflage.
Yeah, some cloak too. Yeah.
They'll cloak. And I notice like some, if you kill them enough, they'll actually just suicide themselves.
Yeah.
Like, not to give you the satisfaction of
Did
you
you get to
killing
the
them.
point where you were able to ride the Triceratops with the guns?
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's, you can see how the AI behaves differently
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you would think, oh, well, they're just gonna attack me all the
Yeah.
same, but now I'm just in a dino tank. No, they're running
Some of
away,
them
their
run away
arms in
for
the
you,
air,
yeah.
you know,
They're
they're
flailing.
screaming,
Yeah.
they're like you're overpowered and they know it.
Yeah,
And
it's
so you're
great.
just shooting them. It is great. Great
Oh,
game. I'm
man.
glad that it finally came out. I haven't tried the multiplayer yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I believe it's online, if I recall
I
correctly.
think so, yeah.
So that might be fun to check out later. And if any Patreons out there have the game, maybe we can even do a little community game night with you on it. But we'll just see what happens there.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's all that's been happening with me. How about you, Austin?
No,
I think you got a Switch, didn't you?
No, I didn't. My brother got the Switch. I haven't even touched it yet because I've been playing
What?
so many games. Like, there's so many games these past few months, and I've just like had my hands full with them pretty much. Because
Man.
I got Horizon Zero Dawn for the PS4, and it's like a very like open world-ish, game
Yeah.
similar to Zelda, and so I'm like just gonna hold off on playing Zelda for a while. And my brother said I could play his when he's at work or whatever, but it's like I'll just play it when there's a drought in video games and I need something to play.
A drought. I'm so far behind in so many
Yeah, I
things.
know.
Never gonna come.
And speaking of Horizon Zero Dawn, I beat that, and it's a fantastic freaking game. Oh my gosh. It deserves all the sales and reviews that it's been getting. Great game.
Yeah, a lot of people were praising it.
Visuals
lot of
are
people.
amazing. I took hundreds of screenshots of that game. I put that up on my Flickr.
Now what system did you say you was playing that on? PS?
It's a PS4 game.
Yeah, I thought it was PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, it is exclusive.
I'd like to play that at one stage. I've been listening to my friend play it. He's not really enjoying the actual main character, which is funny.
She's not terribly likable, but she's alright.
He's the brief description he gave me was all the women have the same sort of tough exterior, serious sort of we can do anything kind of thing, and they all lead the tribes, and all the men are either very cowardly or douchey.
It's so true. Like I don't even know, like in video games, like when people accuse something of that, I'm like, oh whatever, I just dismiss it. But this game is like literally every villain's a male.
Yeah.
Literally all the good people, kind-hearted people are the females. And I don't notice that in video games, but in this game I noticed it so much. It's like whoa.
He told me one thing that was pretty funny where there's like guys running away in terror, don't attack that, and she'll appear, don't worry, I got this. And I'm thinking, in this sort of world, why would any guy be terrified of anything? Just walk up to the nearest female and be like, can you take care of that huge thing? No problem. Off she goes, kills.
But with that said, in open world games, typically, like I'm going for like Far Cry, whatever. You don't care about the plot. Like it's not even the focal point. The focal point is just the big world exploration, the sandbox. But this
it's good
game,
to have both. But,
this game's story grabbed me from the second, well, not the second, like a few hours in or an hour in, like the plot got so heavy. I was like, holy crap. Like I was saying in my stream to my viewers, I was like, this is like a Netflix series. Like I'm getting into this so much. And the story, it, for the most part, continued to grab me until the end. It was such a good, like, because you like don't know what happened to the previous civilization. You're like, what happened? And you slowly piece it together, and you have like audio logs you can listen to, and it's like, man, what happened? And the whole time I'm just like making theories of what happened. Like maybe this happened and this happened. Like I was getting so into the story. Really good story. Side quests they're hit or miss, but for the most part there weren't tons of side quests. There were not that many, so I was able to get through the game in like 60 hours.
Does the weapon get any better? I mean, because I've noticed she's got this bow, but she's in a world where there's technology, and I'm thinking, why would you just have a bow when you can rig something up?
There's multiple weapons. There's
Is
two
there
different
multiple
bows. There's two different bows. Yeah, and you can upgrade. You can get better weapons too in shops. You can upgrade the weapons, get stronger weapons. Yeah, for the most part, it's like Civilization is at the point where they don't understand the technology, like the dinosaur robots and all that. Like they don't understand it. They're slowly starting to try to learn it. Some people are, at least. But the tribe you're in, they refuse to like go to like old sites and stuff. Like they refuse to get into the technology, and they're just like really ignorant to the whole thing. But
I noticed that, but she has technology stuff on her, like even in her ear. I'm going by memory.
yeah,
by the way.
yeah. She picks that up as a kid. She falls into an old like lab and finds that device that she puts on her ear. But she's an outcast from this village. But I'm not gonna get into the whole plot because I'd spoil it. But yeah, she's an outcast, but she's more open to the whole technology thing than the rest of the villages. And
I definitely want to play it at one stage.
It's such a good plot, man. And the gameplay is great, like fantastic gameplay. Like whenever I had to fight one of the big T-Rex guys, I was like, yes, gigantic, and they have like billions of like literal like moving parts on them that you can shoot off, and it just is like by the end of a fight, like there's just like hundreds of like pieces just laying around the battlefield that you knocked off and blown off the animals. It's so good.
It'll be future me.
Yeah, someday.
No PS4
And
can't
good
afford
Lord,
it
like,
anyway.
I've been playing Hollow Knight. I've been playing River City Ransom Underground. Oh goodness, I've been playing too many games, man.
You gotta pace yourself so you can enjoy them more thoroughly.
And I want to get Nier, and I want to get.
Yeah, it'll be down the line for me.
Yeah, I got Nier on the old wish list, but I don't buy anything on launch.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm against paying $60.
Yeah, I don't buy. If I buy a new game, I buy it like on Amazon with the Prime because you get it for $10 off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I share Prime, so games are $10 cheaper.
We always wait around 10, 15 max. We're so poor.
Yeah.
We can't afford anything. But yeah, since my PC's been screwed, I've been playing my 3DS.
Oh yeah.
Catching up on my Fire Emblem Fates. That's the one that came out last year.
Yeah.
With it's like the good and the bad storyline, and then the third part that comes after. So I'm having lots of fun with that.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
I never got into the Fire Emblem games.
I actually hated the original ones, like on the Game Boy and all the ones back then.
Yeah.
I think it was a Game Boy Advance. They just felt so simple and just pointless, and there was nothing grabbed me. I couldn't understand why they were popular. So it was crap. But then I played the one that came out a few years back on I think it was a 3DS, Awakenings, and that was really good.
All right. Yeah.
That was worth playing. So I grabbed this one, and then it blew my mind. There's another one coming out, I think next month or the month after, for the 3DS, a proper one.
Wow, is there?
It's
no,
a
there is.
remake.
You're right. Yeah, I've heard about that one. Yeah.
the remake of an old NES one.
Yeah.
So
Probably one
looks
that never
really
came out in the
nice.
States.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few that never came out in the States. It was a,
Mm.
I think there's like 3 or 4 or
it
something.
originally started on the NES, I think. The game, the
Mhm.
series did.
Yeah, so did Advance Wars, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Could never
They
get
called it
into that one.
Famicom Wars back then.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
So this one's not only a remake, but they've added stuff to it as well. So
Yeah.
it
cool.
plays like the new ones do.
Yeah.
So I guess you could
they're
say
really
it's-
worth it.
Well, I guess it still would count as a remake. They just
Yeah.
remade it to be a modern Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, it's really cool how you can just match up the characters and then you can pair them off, and then they'll have a kid down the line, and then you use
Yeah,
that kid that
yeah.
can fight for you. And the stories are fine. the artwork's really nice. It's really nice. It's an excellent game, and there's very few tactic style games out there.
Yeah.
I really like this.
That's true. Oh, I got another little subject.
Mm.
Did anyone check out the Samurai Jack episode
Oh,
that
no,
came
I
out
haven't.
on
No.
Saturday? Oh,
I really want to. Like, I think what I'm gonna do is just wait for it, the season to be over, and then just bulk watch it.
It's a good idea.
well, I did watch it, and I won't give anything away, but if you had told me that there had been all those years between season 4 to season 5, I wouldn't believe it, because they started season 5 with the same styles,
Yeah,
the
it looked
same
like
artistic
it
touches.
looks like they
the
didn't
humor.
lose any of the.
No, they literally, it picks up exactly like, if a series gets rebooted, you're like,
Mhm.
I don't know if I really like the changes
Yeah,
that were
yeah,
made,
yeah.
or like where are they going with this? No, they picked up literally where they left off.
That's awesome.
They
Nice.
did not lose their creative touch at all. So I think it's going to have a lot of promise.
That's yeah.
So I'm looking
I'm
forward
really
to
looking
what
forward
they're
to
doing next.
what they're doing with it.
Yeah. With that said, like anything, there's some things that annoy me personally. I think they're trying to be too stylish, and that means like
that
it's-
show's always
it's-
had that little bit of a
yeah.
over the top.
Like I don't mind style.
Yeah.
It's like it's taken too long to be stylish.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, let me draw out this sword out of my sleeve, and I'm going to do it in 5 different artistic angles with different views and colors, and like, all right, come on, Jack. Yeah, just and then he's screaming, oh, like he's always screaming, whatever. But other than that,
It's boisterous.
they're doing good. They're doing good, and I'm looking
He's a
forward to
happy
see
person.
how it goes. It's just too bad it's a mini series, so
Yeah, I
know
hope it
it's not
does
gonna have a
well. And well, actually, I think aren't they wrapping it up? Like, isn't that what they're
yeah,
doing
that's
here?
the idea.
Yeah,
How many parts is
That's-
this new one?
I don't know what they're planning to do. I don't know how many
Mhm.
episodes.
It could be
Can't
13.
imagine
It
it.
could be 8. It
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
be 4. We
I'd
don't
say
know.
there can't be more than 13.
I mean, with it being a mini series, that can imply anything.
Mm.
I'm not sure what Cartoon Network just.
Yeah,
Because I know their Voltron one is about 13 or so.
oh yeah.
I
they
can't
got-
imagine it being more.
Yeah,
Very good. I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
really like the new Voltron.
I've been watching. Ugh, there's too much crap to watch. Too much games to play.
Yeah, I get through things.
Third
One,
world
like
problems.
I only just started
First
Twilight
world.
Zone, and I bought those Blu-rays, years back.
Yeah,
For something from 1959, the quality on that is unreal, unbelievable.
the quality of like the storytelling or the visuals.
The film
Both.
quality.
Yeah, the stories are very cool, but
Well, I
the,
know the stories are great. Yeah,
they really it doesn't look like something from the late 50s. They really touched it up. You can see paws, you can see
wow.
individuals, even the little bits of the little small hairs on the side of the ears, you can see them and everything. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
You don't get that sort of
Yeah.
quality from movies from the 90s half the time.
Actually, didn't they?
Yeah, it
Like,
was-
what is it in 60 frames or is it just the 24?
It should be 24.
Okay, because I remember there was a point where they recorded at 60 frames, but it was
Oh,
mostly
look that
soap.
up.
That was just mostly soap opera stuff. But I thought they did that with.
I could be wrong. I'll double check. It looks normal.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
nice.
sure it's just 24.
Yeah, no, I love all that stuff. You know, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, Night Gallery.
Yeah.
Love that stuff.
Did you like Tales from the Crypt?
At the time, I never got to watch it much, but I hear that they're gonna re-release the entire set,
Oh, that's cool.
so I'll be definitely watching all that
There's
again.
some really good Tales from the Crypt stuff.
Oh, I remember one I enjoyed, but I can't remember anything about it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
But I love these sorts of stuff. Ray Bradbury, Theater Hour. I can't remember what it was called. That was really good.
Yeah.
So many of those types of shows. I've got another one. I can't remember what it's called. But I've got it on my system that I'm going to be watching the old TV rips because they never released it again. Back in the 70s, I think it is. So I'll be watching that at one stage.
Yeah.
I love those. I love them.
I still gotta watch that Netflix series. Was it Stranger
Things. You haven't seen that
Stranger
yet.
Things? Yeah.
That new season's
gotta
gonna
watch
be
that.
soon.
Oh,
Yeah, new one.
it's that classic example. Where do you get time?
Yeah.
You got to substitute.
It's alright,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
get to it. Never rush things.
What I want to do is just have that X-Men power where I can multiply myself. And
It'd be nice.
you
Yeah.
do drawing, you play the game, I'm watching this. And then we all come back in an hour and we see where we are.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to just stop time. Then I
You're
can
like,
do whatever
finally,
I want.
I can watch TV and then it's not working.
it's
Guess
not
what,
working,
Con?
'cause
You
it's-
stop time.
Yeah.
It's a still image. Good job,
No.
jerk.
I can control it.
You can't control it.
I touch it and it works. I'm good.
Whatever.
You're arguing with me on stopping time. I'll create my rules.
I used to actually. There was a Twilight Zone episode of a lady that can stop time. It was like a newer. I don't remember. There was a newer Twilight Zone series, like in the 80s or 90s.
The 80s, yeah. They
And
did it
there's
late
a-
80s, early 90s.
I remember
one.
that episode. It stuck with me like my whole life. Like
Mm.
I don't remember how she gets the power, but she says "shut up" and everything just stops. Like time just stops. But this episode ends with like them getting nuked, and she stops time right before the nuke hits, and so she's just like stuck there in limbo, like as the nuke's about to hit. But that stuck with me so much that like I fantasized constantly of being able to stop time. And, like all the things I could do if I could stop time. Like I could just like cheat on homework, cheat in video games. I'm not gonna go
I
into
know.
the other stuff, but yeah.
They did another episode earlier before that in the original series where a guy had a stopwatch that he could use to stop time, and he was going to use it to do some robberies.
Oh
And
yeah.
then in the last portion of the episode, he stops time. He's in this department store, and he's stealing stuff. He drops the watch, and it breaks. Now he's stuck.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Stuck
one.
in
Yeah.
time. And he just starts freaking out. He's like screaming for anybody, please wake up. Can you hear me? And that's how the episode ends. His
Yeah.
greed got to him. And now
There's
he'll
a
eventually
Simpsons-
die.
There's a
Yeah.
Simpsons Halloween special that parodies that episode actually.
There's a lot of shows that will parody that writing.
Yeah.
That's just,
Mm.
just
It-
a
it's
good
so-
show of the time of
yeah,
how
it-
well they
it
did
was
their
so
writing.
iconic and memorable that it
Because they
stuck.
didn't play on like scare tactics, like jumping, fears, and things like that. They
They had
all
to.
went to psychological.
Yeah.
The
Like,
best
it'd be-
types.
Yeah, it'd be like, would this be something society would do? You're like, no, there's no way. And then they play it out, and you go, actually, I could see that one crazy person
Yeah.
going totally mental, and rallying a mob and everything, because that happens apparently even in today.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you really wouldn't trust people, or you really could see that. And that's when the Second World War started. I don't know if it's really but it's good stuff.
Yep.
Those are my favorite sort of shows to watch. I adore them.
Have you heard of Black Mirror?
Yeah, I can't really get into it. There's a couple good episodes, but most of them, for me at least, is like they got one idea and they stretch it out really, really as long as they can. They're too long, and some of them are just, I know some of my friends really love it.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things. I watched one episode. It was all right. But yeah.
Oh, I gotta tell you guys something.
Mm.
Earlier this weekend, I believe it was on Saturday, me and Catherine, we went on a date, and I took her to this
Yeah.
movie theater that they remodeled, and they call it the Bruin View. And what it is that you go in and you say, "Oh, I'd like to see this movie," and we watched the new Beauty and the Beast, but I'll talk about that on another podcast. But you go in and they have this screen, like a TV screen, and you get to pick the seat you want if it's available. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you buy your ticket and you pick the seat you want.
Yeah.
And then they print you your ticket and now you got the seat you want. And then about 10, 15 minutes before the movie starts, they let you in. So you go and you get in your seat. And it's kind of like a reclining chair. And then next to you is a small table. And then on the other side is your partner, whoever's sitting with you. And then they have menus.
Yeah, I've been to one of
they-
those. I've been to one of
Yeah,
those
they got like
theaters.
these little service buttons on the table. So you've
Yeah.
got this card. You fill out like I want a popcorn and I want a drink and ooh, give me a pretzel. And then the waiter comes and they get it. And then before the movie starts, they drop it all off at your table.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, this is pretty nice.
Yeah,
pretty
I've been
nice.
to one of those in Florida. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was actually a really good experience. And the cost of the ticket was less than what most movie theaters have charged me. I think I paid $7.
Probably
for a
because they
ticket.
make lots of money off of the serving part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So they don't need
because
to
they know
charge
you're
you a
gonna
lot.
eat. It's right
Yeah.
there.
Mm.
But
We-
pretty good. It was pretty cool.
We have a similar one here. They call it Gold Class, but you do all your ordering before the movie starts, and you tell them when you want them to bring your drink or your food, and so you're sitting there 15 minutes into the movie, they bring you like a large slice of pizza. Half hour later, they bring you like cake. I
Nice.
was enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Cake. I didn't see cake on the menu.
We
They
had
had
cake.
mostly stuff like pizzas,
Mm.
some sandwiches, of course alcohol, lots of alcohol,
Yeah, same with the one I went to.
popcorn,
No
wings,
alcohol for our
pretzels.
one. I think there was wine, but there's no beer. The one. My problem with that sort of area was, even though I was enjoying it, later into the thing, my brain started to go where it usually goes, the places where no one else's brain normally goes to. And I'm thinking, everyone's eating, they're using their hands, they're enjoying themselves. When they're finished eating, lots of people love to wipe their hands on their shirt because this somehow means it's clean again. But then there's others who will do it on the hand rests.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the hand rests thinking, how gross are these? They look fine. They're probably cleaned often, but oh my God.
Yeah, I imagine the maintenance and cleaning for that would be a pain, that kind of a place.
Yeah, they definitely keep
Yeah.
them clean.
I noticed they mopped the floors before we sat in, so I guess after every
Yeah, I'm sure they'd
After
have
every
to
movie,
after
they'd-
everyone.
pick up popcorn, mop floors, everything
Yeah.
else.
I think in my mind, I'm probably a step away from going to the cinema, which I don't because I hate going there. But with like a full plastic covering for the chair and the handrest and just drape it over and then sit down. Feel like, yep, I'm good now.
Dressed in a raincoat
Whatever disgusting person was here before.
with like
I'm
latex
protected.
gloves.
Yep.
Well, I'll say this: the whole theater looked really clean, but the menu was sticky. So
Yeah.
somebody had probably
Oh.
put soda or something on it. So I washed my hands
cried.
after holding that menu because I'm like, ew, this is
Yeah.
soda sticky.
Exactly what I was saying. Disgusting
Yeah.
people.
It's like that's probably one thing they would overlook. They would mop the
Yeah.
floors, pick up popcorn and something, but nobody goes.
You
through
never
and-
really think about menus being like that, but it's true. Like, I bet they don't clean them, and like it's being touched by thousands of hands.
Oh, kids,
Yeah.
Kids.
gross people. Food's been left on it. It's just like going to a restaurant. How many times have they handed you a menu and you're like, this menu doesn't feel
Yeah,
good.
I've had plenty of sticky, grody menus, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
this I like this.
Oh, luckily there wasn't a menu at the one I went. It was just on like a big board at the back,
yeah,
takeaway style food. You just look up that one now. and he walked off. It was great. Actually, the few times I actually enjoyed going to the cinema. And there was also less people in these. There's like, maybe 30, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think the maximum capacity for the theater in there was 50 people.
And the chairs are big. The screen obviously is not as big as normal, but because it's such a smaller room, it's huge.
Yeah,
and it's enjoyable.
Closer to it for sure.
People don't go woo every 2 minutes.
They're too busy
Or if
eating.
I had, yeah.
If it works, it's less cell phones. I've been to some massive theaters.
Yes.
I mean, very nice ones, but they seat several hundred.
Yeah.
And so I'll try to go early so I can get a nice center seat.
Mm-hmm,
But then after the major crowds come in and the movie's already 20 minutes, and you just see nothing but lights all over the seats because people are on their phones.
Yeah.
And it's like it's distracting. You
If I
don't.
could stop people's minds.
Con's like, I'm gonna freeze time again, and then I'm just gonna steal their phones.
Oh no, I kind of meant like, brain dead.
You're just gonna shut them down.
I'm sorry. I go that one step further. You're an annoyance to society. I'm ending you right now.
Well, I guess if you froze time and you hit them hard enough,
Yeah.
and then you resume time, maybe
It would be multiplied.
some
Yeah,
kind of
that would work.
mathematical equation gets involved, and it'd be like a bullet.
It would be like that feature on I've only seen it in videos, but on the new Zelda game where you freeze it, you hit something 10 times, and then
Yeah.
10
they
seconds
go
later.
flying. Yeah.
Oh,
Man, the
That's
reviews
funny.
for that game have been insane. Just insane.
I'm not sure why.
It is the highest, it has the most 10 out of 10s out of any game on Metacritic.
I don't know. I think they reviewed it a bit too high, and some people
No,
are going to attack me for it.
no, I agree. I think that it's getting the Nintendo pass. People are just like,
Yeah.
they're giving it, like, it is getting way too good reviews. Like, I don't doubt it's a good game, but
Yeah.
It-
I've seen a video where your weapon breaks after 3-4 hits,
Yeah.
and this is normal. I'm thinking, that's not enjoyable. How
Yeah,
can this be
yeah.
a 10-10 feature? That's stupid.
that's because crafting's very popular right now.
Mm.
They're like,
I know,
oh, I
the
just
last-
broke this. Now I get to spend 4 hours getting the materials to craft a new one. Fun.
It's not a good feature in any game. The last one I remember playing that had that feature was Vagrant Story, one of the best games ever made, but because of the way the weapons degrade, it made it almost impossible. I was crying by the end of the game.
yeah.
I don't want to go through that shit ever again. But it is an amazing game. But at the same time, no, I'm not recommending it.
Yeah. The game
any-
also has frame rate issues, which I think shouldn't
Yeah,
have
I
a
saw
10 out
that.
of 10.
Actually,
That-
I was really surprised by that because Nintendo generally always does very good about locking frame rate for their
Yeah.
games. Like they're always the system pushers, but they're really tight on frame rate and everything.
Yeah, but this thing drops below 20
Oh,
fairly often,
It
even
freezes
in battles.
sometimes. Sometimes it
It's
freezes.
dumb. With the handheld part, when you're playing it with the Switch thing, in portable,
Yeah, yeah.
the frame rate's, stable.
It's completely stable in handheld
Yeah.
mode because it's 720p. But when it's
So I'm
docked,
thinking-
it's 900p. So
Yeah, why didn't they just make a feature where you could choose which
Yeah.
resolution?
yeah, they really needed to do that. That's what everybody's been saying. Like there needed to be an option.
They probably did because they wanted to advertise the Switch as, an actual HD console,
Yeah.
something that is just as comparable as
Hmm.
current systems. Unfortunately, they just haven't got the programmers to figure that part out yet. So, I don't know.
They
We'll
just
see if
don't have-
it's fixable by patching or what.
Well, it'd be nice, but yeah, there's a lot of issues in that game for something that's listed as a 10.
yeah.
Concur.
Yeah.
Any game that drops below 20, that's serious and does not deserve 10s. Put it to a 9 because that actually impacts gameplay.
Yeah, it's getting the nostalgic Nintendo pass, I think, for a lot of reviewers.
I could totally see that.
I mean, as
Totally
soon as
cool.
I saw
I hear
those
that.
10 out of 10 and 10 10 10 10, I was like, okay, calm down,
Yeah.
everybody.
These are Half-Life 2 scores. What's going on?
Mm.
And even Half-Life
Yeah.
2 is not a perfect game. A great game, but not a perfect game.
There's no perfect game.
No.
But it's kind of like with any launch. I remember when the GameCube launched. Rogue Squadron was getting like high nines, like 9.2.
That was nice.
that
actually.
deserved it
It's-
though. That game was
Yeah,
great.
it's a great game, but
Hmm.
you know, 4 years down the GameCube's life, when you're starting to see better graphics in other games or better mechanics used in other games, then that 9.2 should be reflected more like Axe. It might be just more of a 9.0.
Yeah, but you got to take into account that it's reviewed at that point in time.
Exactly.
there's
So
no
Zelda
references.
10 today might just be a Zelda 8 or 9 in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's something I wish reviews would do. You know, like the scores would
that'd be interesting.
change depending on
Just
you
do
know,
like an update.
as time goes on and technology gets
Mm.
better. Because obviously, it looks great now. But what if a better looking game comes out? Is that going to get an 11?
Yeah.
It's
You know,
weird.
or is,
They
or is it
do
a
that.
10 as well?
There'll be a game that'll come out and they'll give it like 9 for graphics, and then 3 years later another one comes out that's way better looking and they'll give it an 8, and you think there's no
Yeah.
consistency here.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's like
You
this is
just-
obviously better than that one, just because that one is older.
Yeah.
And at that time, there was no standard to compare it to.
I think it's just the timeline. They just take the comparison of that point in time to what is
Yeah.
out.
It happens a lot during the beginning parts of console
Yeah.
lives. I've seen certain games come out where people go, 10, 10, and I'm looking at it thinking, that's not a 10, not even close. It's barely a 9. It should be an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like with the original Xbox, Halo. That was a massively high-scoring game.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
then Halo 2 comes out and it scores just as good. But you're looking at it and you're like, hey, this one's got way better graphics than this one. How is this one beating it in the graphic department? It's like they should modify those reviews at time so that if a new person was buying a console and looking at the reviews, they would get an accurate representation of that
I've
game.
I've always just looked at it as that was reviewed that score at the time when it came out. That's just how I view it.
I mean, changing the scores later down the line would be a bit bad, because you'd get like, let's say Final Fantasy VII, which was amazing when it first came out, and now it would be like a 6.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of unfair to it.
Yeah, it's and not only that, but re-reviewing it wouldn't really impact. 'Cause, let's be honest, reviews are sales. Like that's all
Yeah.
anyone looks at it as. Reviews
Mm,
good,
yeah.
gonna get sales. And if you do it later on and update it, no one's gonna buy. Or,
Yeah, let's also be honest. No one actually reads them. They just look
it's
at
true.
the score.
It's true.
They go to the last page of the review.
Yeah.
Excellent.
10!
It's a 10. I'm buying this game.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to
This
read
game.
anything else. And I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, I do that too, but I have a few outlets that I like. I'll either video reviews is what I like, because I can just like have it playing and then I have to read because I'm lazy like that.
I like to read
course.
the last couple paragraphs of the
Yeah, I do that
Review
too.
where
If I read, then I read like the last few paragraphs.
where they sum it
Personally,
all up.
I think kind of the standard review process is a little outdated because now, especially for me, if I'm interested in a game, I'll just look on gameplay videos on YouTube.
And
I'll
then
just want to
get
see
your own
how it
opinion,
see how it actually plays instead of
Mm.
listening to a reviewer who's only put 2 hours in it, maybe.
Yeah, claim they finish it.
Like, because they don't. There's no way.
No.
The game's coming out in 3 days. You got your copy now. You got to not only play it, but you got to write it, submit it, then
they
get it
get,
edited, and then published it. Or, especially in magazines, like, there's no way.
They get review copies like a week in advance. So
Mm.
Yeah, and some of them are broken. Like the
That's-
SimCity one that EA launched a couple years ago. How many reviewers got broken copies? So they're not even playing the final product, but they're
that's
going to
true,
try and
yeah.
review it for a final product.
Mm.
So I'd just rather watch a video gameplay of the final product, so I
Yeah.
got a better understanding what I'm getting into.
yeah, I go on. I just consume the general consensus overall when I'm thinking about getting a game. Like I look at reviews, I look at people I trust, what they think of it, and then if I'm still on the ropes, I'll look at gameplay videos and get my idea of it before
Yeah.
deciding.
I go by 3 basic rules. Is it on sale? How big's the sale? What's the gameplay? Steve's got it for 75% off. Well, it's got to be good. I'm buying it now. Put that in the back catalog.
My favorite type of sale. Everything was on sale.
All right, we probably ought to start wrapping up here. Unless
Yep, I was
anyone
gonna
else
say that's
goes.
1 hour probably.
Yeah. Actually, I got something I want to show you lot because then I can close these tabs. Whether we use it for this one or another one is a different
Tab
story.
hoarder.
I've had this up here for a while. Now,
I'm just as bad.
this thing's really cool. Have you heard of a handheld gaming device called the GPD?
That sounds familiar.
I'm not sure.
I'll give you a link. I'll post it up as
Because
well.
of
Wait, is this a recent thing?
Kind of. I mean, it's recent.
Because I
Get
heard
this.
about a recent handheld being like
Yeah, here you go. This
That
thing.
shows
they
us.
were they stopped development of it or something. I don't remember what I heard.
Oh no, this one's completely for sale. is a different
GPD
one then.
Win handheld gaming PC quick review.
Now, it's a handheld computer basically that you can install Windows on. It runs games like, let's say, Skyrim on low at around, average 40,
Huh.
anywhere between 30 to
Huh.
45. It can run. You can even use it as a Steam Link style. So
Right.
if you have a Steam Link, you run it on your TV. This one, you just have it streaming to the handheld, so it'll be running, the thing perfectly while you're in bed or something.
Right.
You don't need the TV, so it's like a mini Switch. It's like a
Huh.
3DS because it looks like a 3DS style. I mean, it runs perfectly with emulators. You can even play,
Yeah. that's
GameCube
actually
games
really
on it.
cool.
It is a really amazing device. Not too expensive, considering it's about the same amount as a console.
Seeing like what 350.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
And there's videos of people playing games on it, so that's a really cool thing to have a look at if you're curious about it. But this is the first one they've made, and I'm thinking, if this is so good, consider what the next version will be like.
Yeah.
With luck. But they say the screen quality is good. The buttons, they map with everything, just like the console layouts. You can even reset how you want. The thing is amazing.
It seems like it was designed really well. Like they particularly had gaming in mind with this because
Yeah.
I like the style of the D-pad that they selected there.
They said the D-pad feels nice as well, which is really good. So you could play, like King of Fighters or something, and
Yeah, the fact that
Get
it's got
moves
Steam
out.
Link is cool because there's
Yeah.
times I want to play.
Well, it's not only that, but it has external USB, so you can actually plug a controller into it if you didn't like what
Yep.
you had.
And I think it has an output, so you can go to a TV. I'm not sure about that part.
I'm
but-
looking. It doesn't state.
No, maybe the
Well,
future one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That is really cool. I never
Mm.
even heard of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, portable handheld computer that can actually play games, unheard of.
Huh.
And then there's this one, and it's like, oh wow.
So I guess now the question is, what's the battery life?
They mentioned that it lasts a few hours.
Yeah. So I guess for me, things are like, how high does it get? What's the battery life? And does the screen work at all anywhere but inside?
Yeah.
Any screen can
remember
work well
the-
inside, but
The screen works nice. It doesn't get that hot.
okay.
You can play like Arkham Asylum, all that stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look up some videos of it while it's playing. It's
Oh,
really nice.
This particular model's got Kodi installed on it.
I know. Look, see, a mini HDMI port, so it does have it there.
Nice. And it looks like it's got Windows, like you said, full fun. Huh. You could just set this up somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Especially when you
Very-
take into consideration emulators. You could just have like
Yeah,
an endless supply of old games on that.
Plus, you
It'd
got
be-
the majority of the map, or button mapping for all those.
Yeah, yeah.
perfect for holidays as well.
Huh.
And it's
I'm
not that
bookmarking
massive.
this.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, and you can close it, which will protect the screen.
Right.
Do you like
Still,
that
it
feature?
is really cool that these kind of things are coming up more and more.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I can't afford one. I'd like one, but forget it. That's for different reality. me.
Yeah, how about you just get set up first on that computer? Then we'll talk about miniature computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Anyone
jerk.
out there? Feel free to send me one. I'll even review it. Thanks. Never
Maybe
happened.
give it back.
Maybe give it back.
We'll just say it got lost.
What? No, I never got it. Sorry. Oh, there's that video of me using it. No, sorry.
Nope, never got it. Yep. This is interesting. It looks like there's another version of that GPD.
They have a
call
few
it-
different ones.
Yeah, this one's GPD XD. It just doesn't have the keyboard. It's just exclusively the controller style.
Yeah, they're older versions made just basically for emulators and stuff.
Interesting.
So they're a lot cheaper, obviously less powerful, but they're just portable emulator machines.
I got them on Amazon. Let me go to Amazon and see what people are saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of good
Oh,
stuff.
it's pricey on Amazon now. Oh no, that's the new one. The new one is pricey.
They've got their own.
$500.
Well, that's their website, and they have links of all the places that sell each of their devices. So they've got a lot of things already made. So they're not like one of those companies that come out with one thing and there's a chance that they can become super dodgy and just stop everything or whatever.
Very cool.
Hmm.
Thanks for sharing this. This is nice.
No problem. If anyone out there buys one, definitely tell us. I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, guys, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
So yeah,
I think it's
thank you
Jed's
guys.
turn to.
No, I think I'm reading
No,
off.
no.
But yeah, guys, thanks again for listening, and yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for not being able to do much in the last couple months.
That is not the permanent solution that we
We
will be getting back.
Yeah, we
Into
still have
things.
videos to upload as well. We've got plenty
Yeah.
of stuff still. So,
There just won't be any streaming for a
Yeah.
while yet, unfortunately.
but yeah, as usual, I'm gonna thank all of our patrons for the month, and again, thank you so much to the patrons, like so much, guys. Appreciate this.
Yep.
It's crazy.
A
Indeed.
lot.
So thank you to Matthew A. Keith, Colin and Maggie, Christopher Cernos, Peter Trusinski, Michael Johnson, Chris Somerville, Brianna Bruel, Christopher Mui, Simon Degno. Whew, you got a name there. Simon Degnobalig.
By the way, guys, you can just tell us how to pronounce your names. That'd be great.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Samantha Lawley, Remick Zero, Potato Sack Studios, Old Marcus Nostrand, Israel Soto Diaz, Rebecca Applegreen Kane, Metal Matthias, Jackie Jellin, O. Richardson, Zachary Morehouse, Chris Floyd, Sonahook Apokdak, Mark Johnston, Alexander Bulau Thomason, John DeWitt, Kevin Haynes, Acidia, Leroy Saber, Fulp Parker, Jesse Frank Singe, Brandon Justice, Cole Carey, Jane Sierrava, Matthew Groves, Adrian Klug, Miguel Linney, and Loopy121283.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Where'd your parents come up with that
I
one?
can read numbers. Those are easy. So yeah,
All the other ones
thank
were
From
you.
now
taken
on,
before.
you're all numbers to us.
The one thing that amazes me is majority of those names are the same ones that we get, each month that we say, and we still can't pronounce some of them.
Yeah, I
because
know.
It doesn't matter. But it's just freakish. I mean, the fact that they're still there, it's, to me, an extremely emotional thing as well.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah, it's crazy that you guys still are willing to give us money for dumb videos and being dumb.
It's very being dumb for sure.
So yeah, thank you guys very much. And again, thanks
you.
for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbyes.
Goodbye.